The capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice by Brian Herbert. That's why we are here today. We are listening or we are discussing the new lessons in order for us to learn and continue our life with a better future. Good day, everyone. By this time, we are going to discuss functional notional approach. So when we say functional notional approach, it is embrace any strategy or language teaching that derives the content of learning from an initial analysis of the learner's needs to express the three different kinds of meaning. So in order for the learners to have or to do what is they are needed or what is the important points that they need to learn. The three different kinds of meaning in functional notional approach. First, we have functional. It is the social purpose of the adherence. It is how the students or the teachers deliver the topic and how does the students learn or how they gain learnings from the topic or what is the function of making lesson plans, making uh, objectives, which is in order for the students to learn a new lesson. Second, we have a model. It is the degree of likelihood, which is it involves the students' needs or interests. It we can discuss or we need to prepare a syllabus, which is the students they like or what is they need. The third one, we have the conceptual. Conceptual is the meaning relations expressed by forms within the sentence or categorized of communicative function, which is the concept or the method being used in the topic or in a syllabus, which is the students are going to express or the teacher will express and explain further the discussion in order for the students to learn better. So it involves here the communicative functions of both the students and the teacher. Now we are going to discuss the history of the functional notional approach. During 1972, the British linguist V.A. Wilkins published a document that proposed a radical shift away from using traditional concept of grammar and vocabulary to describe language to an analysis of communicative meanings, so that learners will need in order to express themselves and to understand effectively. So the main focus here or the target here is the communicative meanings or the communicative approach of the students in order for them to develop their communicative skills or their metacognitive skills in order for them to better or to effectively understand what was the lesson and what was the teachers being discussed. Then during 1976, he worked for national syllabuses, which shown how language could be categorized on the basis of notions such as quantity, location, and time, and functions such as making requests, making offers, and apologizing. So there are the categories of in function national approach, which is the notion with it is identified or it gives importance of how the quantity, location, and time being allotted during the discussion or how does the functional notional approach implemented. And for the functions, it is implemented or it was giving importance of making requests, making offers, and apologizing in order to uh, have a better communicative functions, or they can the teachers or the students will effectively communicate each other, and at the same time they will learn a new things. This method of language teaching is categorized along with others under the rubric or the communicative approach of the learnings, and the method stresses a means of organizing a language syllabus, and it emphasizes the breaking down the global concept of language into units of analysis in terms of communicative situation in which they are using. So the main focus here is the language or the communicative approach, which the students will learn how to communicate properly, or how does the students or the learners will communicate in different situations. The functional notional syllabus is primarily based on not on a linguistic analysis, on an analysis of learners' social and or vocational communicative needs. So this approach holds that the clarifications or the classifications of skill levels should be based on what people want to do with the language or the functions, and in terms of what the meanings people want to convey, which is we call a notion. So we have here the concept of functional notional approach. For the first concept of functional notional approach is the communication is meaningful behavior in a social and cultural context that requires creative language use rather than synthetic sentence building. So in this concept, it is the communication is a very important behavior which we can socialize or we can communicate people, not just in our area. We can communicate, or communication is very important in order to express and give our ideas in a certain situation. Next concept we have language is constructed around language functions and notions, and functions such as evaluating, persuading, arguing, informing, agreeing, questioning, requesting, expressing emotions, and the semantic grammatical notions such as time, quality, space, location, and motion. So the aim of this approach was to transfer these functions to acts of communication. So as as we inform others, as we request or question others, it is the functions that during our communication. So when in terms of notion, it is the quality or the quantity or the space or the location where you have communicate or where you have done your functions or the act that you are being uh, did in a certain places. When we talk about notions, as I said a while ago, it is the meaning elements that may be expressed through nouns, pronouns, verbs, prepositions, conjunction, adjectives, and adverbs. And the notions are we are going to use in communicating, or the concept that we are going to use or in communication, it is maybe quite specific, in which case it is virtually the same as vocabulary, like dogs, house, for, and it may be very general. We have time, size, emotion, and movement, in which case it often overlaps with the concept of topics. And a notion may be time past. This may include past tense, phrases like a month ago, in 1990, last week, and utterances using temporal clauses, beginning with when, before, after, and so on. So the way we uh, state or the way we give informations, like we are talking about last month, uh, on 1990s, or on Tuesday. So that is we call a notions. Then this time we are going to discuss about the function. Function is some kind of communicative act. It is the use of language to achieve a purpose, using involving interaction, at least between the two people. Example would be suggesting, promising, apologizing, and greeting, or inviting. So just like you are going to invite someone to join, or to join your birthday party, or to join the celebration of the christening of your niece or nephews. Okay, this time we are going to know what is the situation in accordance of functional notional approach. Situation may affect variations of language, such as the use of dialects, the formality or the informality of the language, and the mood of expression, the way the people communicate, or the emotions or the expressions of their face, on depending on what is the context, or what is the you are going to discuss, or you are going to talk with. And the situations include the following elements. So there are elements in terms of the situations in a functional notional approach. So we have first the persons taking part in the speech act. So the person going to, or they have uh part in taking the speech act, or they are going to talk. They have time to talk, and they will allow also the person or their peer to talk as well. And letter B, or the second, is the place where the conversations occur. So there are settings where the two persons are uh, having a conversation or communicating. Third is the time the speech act is taking place. Also, this is talks about the time, or when does the two persons making conversations, like they are talking start in 10 a.m. until to 12 in the afternoon. That's right. Okay, next we have the function, the topic or the activity that is being discussed. So when you are going to communicate, you have a purpose. So you have a topic to be discussed. That just like you are talking about planning to uh, have a summer celebrations, or you are going to beach and celebrate the summer, or you are going to celebrate something which is you are interesting, or you are interested with it. And then in terms of this the situations, you can able to, or the elements being stated here is the whole, or what is in the mid, or what is the concept, or what is the purpose, and what was being discussed, or what was uh, the person's interest, or what is uh, the time, or what when does it happen, and who are involved in the discussion or the conversation. So we talk about exponents. It is the language utterances, or the statements that stem from the function or the situation and the topic. So it involves in exponents is the statement you are going to utter, or you are going to throw to your people who are talking with, and the situation. So what is the situation? Why did you have that conversation? And what is the topic? Is it interesting, or it is concerning about your life, or the experiences you have discover, or you have uh, enjoy during the past or the present times with your people who are talking to you. Then next we have the could. So is the shared language or community of speakers. Is it is a dialect which persons who are talking with, or what is the language they use, or what is the community languages, or what is the dialect they are going to use in a conversation or in communication. Next, we have code switching. It is a change of switch in code during the speech act, so which many tourists believe is purposely behavior to convey bonding, language prestige, or other elements of interpersonal relationship between the speakers. It is all about how uh, the speaker or the receiver going to interact, or how the speaker will deliver his message, or and what the purpose or purposely behavior or conveying people on, or the listeners or the receiver of your message a in a certain topic or in certain context. So the essential components found in functional notional syllabi are as follows. First, we have situations in which the foreign language will be used. It is a situation will always include the following: the participants, the place, and the time. So it is the just like we have we have a seminars. It has a foreign speaker, which is he or she will use a foreign language which is happen in a convention area, or the time that it of course it has a time when uh, the speakers will speak. Second, we have the topics, and what the learner will be able to do with this. For example, everyday interactions such as buying foods, giving directions, or offering advice. So it is all about how the people or how the learners do every day, just like going to schools, or buying some drinks or food during the recess time. So this is a part also in the daily activities of the people. Third, we have the language activities in which the learner will engage. Of course, during that activity, so the learners has the has taking part, or has the important part which they will be engaged during that a certain activity, which is they are going to listen, or they are going to make an activities that involves a language or a communication. Fourth, or the last one, we have a language function which the learner will perform. So they are going to perform or the functions, which is they are going to ask questions, they are going to suggest, or they are going to clarify which uh they can they cannot understand really, or they not sure of what they are here, or they are confused of the topic. What are those language functions that the students or the learners will perform? First, we have the personal. It is about expressing one's thoughts or feelings. For example, they love, they have feel enjoyment, and they have feel pleasures or happiness. And the everyday feelings, just like they are hungry, they are thirsty, or sleepiness, and so on. So for next is the interpersonal. This interpersonal, it talks about enabling us to establish and maintain the desirable social and working relationship. Like we are greetings and leave takings, or introducing people to others, just like when you meet someone and you are together with your family or your mother, so you are going to, this is my mother, this and this is my friend, so you are going to introducing something. And in terms of, and you are going to express your joy, what does you feel in that day. And it is also expresses how you are accepting or declining, or what you have uh desire, or what have you are going to decision, or make a decision in or before you are going to act. And the third one is the directive. directive is attempting to influence the actions of others, like you are discouraging someone from pursuing a course of action, persuading someone to change his point of view, or warning someone. It is just you are going to realign, or you are going to discourage the person, or you are going to give another idea instead. That person will going to stand firm, or they will go to stand of what ideas they have learned. And this directive, it is also you are going uh, to pursue someone of what is your point of view or what you have believed. So you are going to believe that in order to believe that someone in your own perception, so you are going to engage that one, or you are going to pursuing that person in order to believe you or to accept your perspective. Third is the referential is talking or reporting about things, actions, events, people in the environment in the past or in the future. So talking about the language, what is turn and the metalinguistic functions. So you are going to identifying items or people in the classroom, the school, the home, or the paraphrasing, summarizing, or translating, which is you are going to referring something, or you are going comparing something, which is the better, this one or this one. So you are going to make a change, or you are going to make a meaning in that certain uh, object or a certain topic. Third, we have or the I mean the last one, which is pip one, is the imaginative. When in terms of imaginative, so the discussions involving elements of the creativity and artistic expressions, like discussing a poem, a story, or a piece of music, a play, or a painting. So you are this time you are going to make an output. You are going to portray, or you are going to act, and you are going to interact, which is you are going to have a step in order for you to make an output, or you are going to uh you are going to look forward, or you are going to see that topic in order for you to learn as well. Okay, for the next one of our the the components of the notional syllabi. The PIP one is the general notions which the learner will be able to handle. So the the students will or the learners are going to uh, make, or they're going to recognize the time, or the it is a past tense or the past tense, or that they are going to use in describing, or they are presenting something. And the sixth one is the specific, which is the topic related, the notion which the learner will be able to handle. So what is the purpose of discussing something? So which is to help the learners to be guided, and for that they can handle uh, assessment which they will get, or they have learned from that certain topic. Or the last one, we had the language forms the learners will be able to use. So this time, what are the language forms that the learners will use during the communications, which are the language utterances or the statements that they are going to speak, or they are going to receive, and the functions and the situations, and also the topic that the learners will, or the communicators will discussing. For the recap for the functional notional approach, it is all about a strategy of the language teachings, or how does the instructor or the teacher will deliver the topic, and what are the purpose of teaching language, or which is it is aligned to the students' needs. So it is also all about how the or what when does the story, or I mean the topic being discussed, and what is the language being used by the speaker, and where does the discussion or the communication take place. Okay, the advantage of this approach, it helps the students to be communicatively useful to express their opinions, their thoughts and ideas, and it is more on focus in communication, and it is also suitable for the beginners in order to uh, know how to start or how to communicate themselves even in a simple situation, or so that they can answer, or they will able to express their thoughts in a simple or in a difficult manner. Well, thank you for listening, and God bless.